everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my top 10 Slimming World meals video. So for those of you that have been following my channel for a while or following my meals of the week videos, you will generally have a good idea of what my top 10 Slimming World meals are. I basically have a lot of these meals over and over and over again. At least once a week or twice a week there'll be one of these meals in my meals of the week video. But for those of you that have just stumbled across this video looking for some meal inspiration or whatever, I hope this helps you guys in some way, or just hope you enjoy the video basically. I was going to try and make this like purely sin-free meals, but that would just be lying to myself because I do use quite a bit of sins sometimes in my meals. Not all the time, sometimes I just enjoy having good sin-free meals and then I use my sins for like snacks or lunch or whatever. But generally most of my meals are either low sin or, I think the highest I've ever went was maybe 9 sins for a meal. But generally between 0 sins and 6 sins is what I aim for in my meals. And I try to write this as a top 10 as in like 10 being my least favourite of my favourite meals and 1 being my favourite of my favourite meals. But I just couldn't. I change my mind all the time. It just depends what mood I'm in. But let's just get on with it. Let's just crack on with it. So my first one that I wrote down was soup. This is probably for me a more seasonal one. I generally tend to have a lot more soup for dinner as my main meal during like the colder months. So from like October up till March. And you can get low sin tins of soup. I'm not really sure about all that. I do prefer homemade soup. I've been making my own soup for years, before I even moved out of my mum and dad's home. So I love making homemade soup and it's easy to make it. Oh God, soup is so easy to make, Slimming World friendly. It honestly is. It's just so flippin' versatile as well. I just love it. My main soup that I tend to make is like a chicken and vegetable soup. I start with my basics for that. Chicken, carrots, onion, but really you can add whatever you want. You can leave out whatever you want. Whatever, it's so flippin' versatile to make it and make it sin-free as well. I think once I got a little soup pack and it had turnip, parsnips, celery, which I do not touch. That just goes in the bin because yuck, it's the devil's food. Onions and carrots and all that, and parsnips I'd never really ever put in soup before, and I thought, I think when I done the shopping haul for that, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with that parsnip, but I ended up just grating it and putting it in the soup. It was lovely. You could also add leeks, whatever kind of root vegetables that you want to, or any vegetables you want to. It's entirely up to you what you want to put in your soup. So the chicken and vegetable soup, like I say, I keep going off track. The chicken and vegetable soup, I start with my staples, which is my chicken, onions, carrot and turnip. And sometimes I'll add barley to that, which I love, especially when I know I'm making it for a main meal. I'll add barley to it. I absolutely love that, and it's sin-free as well. Or I'll add potatoes to it to make it more, stick to your ribs and like a nice hearty winter soup. Sometimes I've even added both to it when I've not had enough of either or. Yeah, it's just, I love flipping soup. My favourite one at the minute is like, I'm not really having it for dinners really that I can remember, but the favourite one at the minute is broccoli and cheese soup. You guys will know that because I've probably spoke about it quite a bit. There's also cauliflower and cheese, which is delicious. I just prefer the broccoli and cheese. I think it's because I prefer broccoli actually to cauliflower. The broccoli and cheese one is either sin-free if you're using your healthy extra A, or like, well, depends on how many portions, but I try to get it to like at least, at the most, 1.5 sin per portion. And soup is so flippin' easy to make. Even if you're not a cook, can't cook, won't cook, soup is one of the easiest things in the world to make. Ali can make soup, my 12-year-old son, he can make soup. It's just so easy to make and so easy to make sin-free. And that is why it's one of my favourite meals. So the second one on my list is sticky chicken. I flippin' love sticky chicken. Not only do I love sticky chicken, but everybody that I make it for loves sticky chicken. I have people round quite often for dinner, usually in the form of a Mark, and he loves sticky chicken, even though he's flipping impossible to cook for sometimes. I don't even want to go into that right now, but Mark loves sticky chicken. I know it's one of the meals that I can make that everybody's going to love. My brother loves it, my brothers and my nieces and nephews and all that love it. It is such a good meal to make, and actually, I first discovered the recipe for this back in 2017 when I first attempted Slimming World. And even after I fell off the wagon or whatever, throughout that whole couple of years where I wasn't on Summer World, I was still making sticky chicken. It was such a good meal that, like, even when you're not on Summer World, it's a good one to make. And actually, I have to say, all the meals on this list I would make even if I wasn't on Summer World. Like, I'm glad I started Summer World and discovered some new healthier recipes. But all these meals I would make even if I wasn't on Summer World. In fact, a couple of weeks ago when I wasn't really following Summer World too much, you can see hopefully from some of the Meals of the Week videos that I did have that I was still making some of these meals. I was still having some really unhealthy meals, but whatever. So anyway, again, I digress. The original recipe for sticky chicken is like 3 tablespoons of honey, 3 tablespoons of balsamic, and 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. And that is what I followed when I first tried it. But I found there was too much balsamic in that. I didn't like the whole balsamic taste that was coming through. I wanted it to be more like a Chinese taste. I don't know how to explain it. But I now use 4 tablespoons of honey, 2 of balsamic, and 4 of soy sauce. I've upped the honey and the soy sauce because I just didn't feel that there was enough sauce. I just wanted to make more sauce. So because I was reducing the balsamic as well, I upped them and it's actually perfect. I love it so much. It works out for us, if I make it between 3 of us, it works out to like 3.5, 4 sins per person. That's me rounding it up. I think in total it'd be 10 sins for what I make. Yeah, so 3.5 sins per person. And I absolutely love this because it's one of the meals you don't really have to think about your speed veg. Well, for me it isn't. I always serve it with some sort of stir-fried veg, which I bloody love. It's probably one of my favourite types of veg, is stir-fried veg. I just stir-fry it in my pan with some soy sauce. That's literally it. That's literally all I do. It's so easy. And serve it all on top of a bed of rice. Flippin' delicious. Honestly, you won't regret it if you haven't tried it yet. Number 3 is breakfast for dinner, a flippin' staple. We always ate breakfast for dinner, like, not every night obviously, but we've always had that thing. We love it. We love having breakfast for dinner. Very seldom do we actually have breakfast, like a Sunday breakfast for breakfast. It's always breakfast for dinner for us. And before, I would just not even think about what I was putting on it. There'd be black pudding, haggis, tatty scones, beans, whatever sausages, bacon, fried egg, oh god, everything. There would be so much on my plate. But now I obviously have to think about what I make when I make breakfast for dinner. So now I go with the basics like bacon medallions and scrambled egg or fried eggs. I think more recently in the last 6 months or so, I have been veering more towards scrambled egg, but only because Ali's not very keen on fried egg, so I just think, I'll make scrambled egg and that's just easier instead of making 2 types of eggs. So bacon, scrambled egg, I always seem to have tomatoes and mushrooms on it, sin-free hash browns. I flipping love sin-free hash browns. I've got a recipe that I will link up above for them. Sometimes sausages, it just depends if I have any in my freezer basically, but when I get sausages, I usually go for the red onion and rosemary sausages. Sometimes I have the heck ones, which can be like half a sin for 2 or 1 sin for 2 or whatever. I really do like the heck ones, but sausages is something that I'm not very keen on anyway, like before Slimming World. I did tend to go for the more vegetarian options for sausages because they just taste like stuffing, which I flippin' love. So breakfast for dinner is something that you can make as sin-free or low sin or whatever. You can do whatever you want with the sins in this. My basic one is always sin-free, but then I might add some sauce and that'll add some sins to it. But it's so flippin' versatile. You can have it any which way you want and I just flippin' love it. Number 4 is Mayflower curry. Oh my god. I would be so lost now if I did not have a Mayflower curry packet in my cupboard. Like, when I start to go low, I start to get panicky because it is one of my go-to meals when I really can't be bothered cooking or whatever. That is like my go-to meal. I love the Mayflower curry. I have tried so many different Slimming World, sin-free, whatever curries and that in the past, and they've all been pretty delicious, but I just love the Mayflower curry sauce. It is my favourite type of... Actually, before I started Slimming World, my favourite type of curry was always like the Chinese curry that you get from the Chinese takeaway. So this Mayflower curry sauce is not quite exactly the same as that, but it's a very close second. It is so delicious. And again, it's another one that you can make to exactly how you want it. I generally tend to have chicken and mushrooms in it, so I've got speed and protein there. But you can make it however you want. You could add beef and onions. Oh my god, I love beef and onion for the Chinese takeaway. Why have I not made that in the Mayflower curry? That's it, that's on the meal plan for next week. If you're vegetarian or you want to do like meat-free Mondays or whatever like that, oh my god, another idea. Another idea just came to me. You could just make it all vegetables that you put in your curry sauce. It is so flippin' versatile and so delicious as well. That curry sauce, oh my god. I could literally just eat that with a bowl of that and chips. So the Mayflower curry sauce is very low sin. It is 4 sins per 28 grams that you make up. So I tend to make up like 28 grams per person. I was going to try and explain that so much more complicated than it actually needed to be. But yeah, 28 grams per person, that's usually how I do it. And then I think it's 128 grams for 100 mils of water to make it up. So it's easy, it's flipping easy and so quick to make. I mean, the rice takes longer to cook than the curry does. Number 5 is a roast dinner. Again, like the breakfast for dinner, you could have it completely sin-free or you could add sins in any which way you want for like Yorkshire puddings or whatever. I flipping love a roast dinner. Not so much during the summer when it's hot and muggy and whatever, but mostly from like September again till March. I love my roast dinners on a Sunday. At least twice a month I try to have roast dinners, because if I'd done it every week I'd probably get that bored yet. No, I wouldn't get bored yet. Also, I really try not to have any roast dinners in December because I want to just, you know, build the anticipation for my Christmas dinner. So more often than not, I tend to have like a chicken for a roast dinner. Chicken with roast potatoes, sprayed with fry light, whatever veg I want, whatever veg I'm fancying at the time, and that really does satisfy me for a roast dinner. Sometimes, not very often, but sometimes I might work out the sins for the gravy that I've made for whoever else is here. Sorry, there's a fly. Mark tends to be here for Sunday roasts, or I tend to make them when I know he's going to be here, or somebody else, another family member, whatever. So I might add some sins that way. I think maybe once or twice I've added sins for Yorkshire puddings, but it just depends what else I've ate that day if I want to add sins to it or not. I also love roast beef done in the slow cooker for a roast dinner. Oh my god, that is delicious. Also, another thing that I've done a couple of times more recently, well not recent because I've not had any roast dinners, but you know what I mean, in my more recent roast dinners that I've had, I have taken the Linda McCartney red onion and rosemary sausages and defrosted them overnight and then rolled them into little stuffing balls, so it's like I'm getting my own version of stuffing. I just love it. I just love a roast dinner. It's so easy and versatile, and again, it's another meal that I make when I'm not even on Summer World. Number 6 is actually a recipe that I found online at the Two Chubby Cubs website. I flipping love the Two Chubby Cubs. I love them. I've used quite a lot of their recipes and they're all been great. I don't think I've ever had an unsuccessful recipe or one that I didn't like from them, but the lemon chicken is by far one of my favourite one of their recipes. So the recipe itself works out, I always work things out between the three of us, especially at the minute because Mark's here on lockdown with us. It works out at 2 sins per person. If you're having more people, it would work out less sins, or you would maybe use more, I don't know, but to me it works out at 2 sins per person. It is so delicious. I will link any recipes that I can, or any cook with me videos that I've done. I will link them all in the description below for you guys if you want to try any of these things out. But the lemon chicken, like the sticky chicken, is something that I find so easy to think about speed veg, because I really don't have to think about it. Lemon chicken with stir fry veg and boiled rice. Easy peasy. Number 7 is chicken fried rice, and arguably, maybe, depends on what mood I'm in, it's probably my favourite one. It's just so easy to make and so delicious once you've made it. It's like literally a few ingredients and boom, done on the plate. I love it. I don't follow a recipe for this. I literally just make it on my own and do it to taste. It's chicken that I fry off in the pan with some fry light, and then some stir fry veg and some boiled rice, all stir fried in a pan, mixed together with salt, pepper and soy sauce. Flipping easy, easy, easy. And what I always do when I'm making chicken fried rice is I always make extra, so I can pop some in a container and pop it in the freezer. I like taking these out for lunches. They're easy to take to work for lunches if you have a microwave, But you can actually eat them cold as well because everything's cooked. It just depends on if you like the taste cold. Me, not so much. I prefer it warmed up in a microwave. So, I mean, at my current job, I don't have a microwave to do that, but I don't work over lunchtime anyway. But in my previous job, this is one of the things that I would take over and over again. Like, that actually became a joke. What you got today, Tracy? Something different? No. Chicken fried rice. It's always chicken fried rice. Actually, going back to the lemon chicken, that was another one that I could make extra of and freeze it and take it to work for lunches and that. I'd just make extra lemon chicken, extra rice, portion it in a container, put it in the freezer and just take it out in the morning when I was going to work. When you have a microwave at work, it's so much easier, but actually that was another one that I used to make and take to work. Number 8 is 100% Ali's favourite meal in the whole flippin' world, kedgeree. If you don't know what kedgeree is, it's basically just smoked fish, rice, butter, eggs and turmeric. Ali flippin' loves it. He's always asking me for kedgeree. When I'm asking him what meal ideas, what we should put on the meal plan for the month, etc, etc, it's always kedgeree. Kedgeree, he flippin' loves it. And actually, when I was younger, this is the one meal my dad would always make. You know, mum does all the other cooking, but my dad, his meal was kedgeree and I flippin' loved it then. His kedgeree's always going to be better than mine. So this was always a meal that we would always have before I was on Slimming World. We would have this at least once a month before I was on Slimming World because Ali loved it so much. And to actually make it Slimming World friendly, it was so flippin' easy because all I had to do was take out the butter. So 9 times out of 10, I just won't add any butter to the kedgeree at all, mine or Ali's or whoever else is here. I just won't add any butter to it. It's delicious without the butter. The butter just gives it a little bit more moisture, but that doesn't bother me really because I'm not somebody that likes their food covered in sauce. Like my friend Mark, he loves his food covered in sauce, and I've got brothers that are like that as well. You know, if you have pasta sauce, pasta meatballs or something, they want the tomato sauce covering all their pasta. I'm not like that. I just like little amounts of sauce. So yeah, I just take out the butter. Sometimes when I'm just feeling a little bit more generous, and more often when Ali's been eating more healthy, sometimes he just goes through stages where all he eats is chocolate and crisps. Sometimes he'll go through stages like now where all he's eating is flipping salad food and cucumbers and stuff. So when he's been healthier, I'll give him a little treat and add some butter to his kedgeree. It's so delicious, honestly. If you've never tried kedgeree and you do like smoked fish, try it because it's delicious. I'm not a fish person either. This is one of the only ways that I'll eat fish. One of the only 5 ways that I'll eat fish. Is there even 5 ways that I'll eat fish? I'm not a big fish person and I do not like strong fishy taste, but I do love kedgeree. Number 9 is tacos / fajitas because I couldn't decide what one I preferred. I love Mexican food. It's probably my favourite type of food. It depends how I feel actually. Sometimes it's my favourite type of food. Sometimes Chinese is my favourite type of food. Sometimes Italian, sometimes Spanish. As I'm recording this, Mexican is my favourite type of food and I couldn't decide between tacos or fajitas. It makes me so happy that I can still have Mexican food on Slimming World, and it only took a little few adjustments to, you know, make it more Slimming World friendly. So like, we don't have the crunchy tacos, which by the way are just a pain in the backside. They are delicious, I do love them, but they're just a pain in the backside. So now I make taco bowls. They're really flipping easy to make. I use one Weight Watcher wholemeal wrap or a white one because they're both healthy extra B. I'll use them and put them in the bottom of a microwavable bowl. So it's usually my glass bowl, which really isn't microwavable, but it's fine. I'll line that at the bottom of the bowl, put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and when you take it out, the bowl, it's got a little bowl shape. And then I just fill it up with like salad and mince, top it whatever I want. For fajitas, I just don't have 6,000 of them like I used to. I just have one with my healthy extra B. If I want more, I might use, you know, lettuce leaves or something like that. Actually, recently, a few days ago, we had my brother round for like a little fajita buffet, and I didn't even want, I could have used a wrap as my healthy extra B. I hadn't used my healthy extra B wrap for that day. I just didn't want it. I wanted to have it just rice with my fajita mix on top, some refried beans and stuff. It was still delicious, delicious. It was like naked fajitas or deconstructed fajitas, if you want to be fancy about it. Before Slimming World, anytime I had fajitas or any type of Mexican food, it would always be loaded with like guacamole, sour cream, salsa, cheese. Oh my god, it's so good. It makes my mouth water. But I have been able to, you know, rein all that in and find alternatives for those. I'm working on a guacamole alternative. I'm working on that. I'm still, I found a mushy pea guacamole alternative that I'm still to try out, which I might probably love because I flipping love mushy peas as well. But anyway, for salsa, instead of the sauce, you could make your own fresh salsa. It is so nice. Like cherry tomatoes, a red onion, coriander, and just half a lime. So flipping delicious. You can also add a little bit of chili if you want to make it spicier, but I just tend to just leave that out because I like it as it is, the way that I make it. For a sour cream alternative, I use cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese. If I'm feeling up to it, I will whiz it in the food processor for a little bit and make it more smooth or whatever, but generally more often than not, I'm too lazy to do that, so I just like pile it on top as cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese, it's so delicious. And for cheese, I either use none at all, or I just use what I can within my sin allowance, because I obviously you guys will have heard me say this before, I use a lot of my Healthy Extra A for milk in my coffee. So cheese I always end up having to sin. So I'll just use the 50% reduced fat stuff, 6 sins of that, whatever that is, the 50 grams of that it is, or 1 Healthy Extra choice, whatever way you want to look at it. And actually, cheese is the one thing that I can take or leave now with the Mexican food, because there's so many other flavours that are going on in there. I bloody love it. And I think, yeah, definitely the last time that I had a little fajita buffet with my brother and that, I didn't use any cheese at all. Well, first of all, I didn't have it, but I didn't want to use it anyway. Like, it was delicious as it was. Oh, refried beans. Refried beans are amazing. I think I love like mushy beans and pulses and stuff because I love mushy peas and I love refried beans. Nobody else does love refried beans except for me, so I always end up having to eat the tin myself. Refried beans are sin-free as well, so if you do like them, if you like, I think is it kidney beans or pinto beans? Maybe pinto beans. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They're delicious. Who cares what they are? They're delicious. And the last change that I made with my fajitas or tacos or that is that I no longer buy the pre-packaged kits, which I didn't do too often before. I more done that for like a convenience thing when I was just, I didn't have time to do a lot of prep. I just wanted to bang it all in and get it ready for when I came home from work or something. But now I don't buy any of them. I never buy them except for at Christmas when it was like our Christmas Eve buffet, whatever. I always make my own like mixes, seasoning mixes for the tacos and the fajitas. So, I mean, if you want to do that, make sure you have a lot of paprika, cumin, ground coriander and all that in your cupboard. It's so flippin' easy. There's so many recipes online. There's a lot of them that use flour or corn flour in them as well, but you don't need that. Honestly, you don't need that. You just need the actual like spices. And the last meal that's on my list is Katsu chicken curry, which is a fairly new favourite of ours. It's only been in the last couple of months that I found this recipe and tried it. It is a pinch of nom recipe, so I will link it down below. Oh my god, it is delicious. How many times have I said that in this video, but I can't help it. It is so good. I love, with a capital love, Katsu chicken curry from Wagamama's. I haven't had it for a year and a half, and I was obviously dreaming about it or just craving it a couple of months ago or something, so I was looking for recipes. I found this one. Didn't really hold out much hope for it, but I thought I'll give it a bash, and it is so good. So good. In fact, it was so good that first time we had it again the next night, and Ali was angling to have it again for the third night, but I was like, well, I need more variety in our diet. So you basically coat your chicken in tortilla chips, and that is where all the sins are. So it's like 6 sins for 25 grams, I think it is. That's where all the sins are, in the tortilla chip. The sauce that you make is flipping bizarre. It's like vegetables. Yeah, I think it's carrots and potatoes that you cook up with some curry powder, and then you blend it all down, and it is completely sin-free. You can add sweetener. I think I added 1 tablespoon. I don't know how many, I can't remember how many it said in the recipe, but you add the sweetener. Listen, one of the things I love about this is how much it makes. So like add 1 tablespoon for half a sin of the sweetener. But actually, that sauce that I made actually went into 3 portions between 3 people. Like, so 3 portions of 3 between 3 people is what I'm trying to say. So it makes so much sauce, that like one recipe. If you have a bigger family, it'll be great, but we're obviously smaller. There's not always 3 of us here. There's usually just 2 of us. So it's great to actually be able to freeze it, because it does take a while to cook. I think it's like 45 minutes to an hour to actually boil the veg and everything, like so it goes really soft, that it'll blend really easy. It's quite time consuming. So it's really good that that big batch that you make does like more meals than just the one that you're actually cooking for. Like in the future, I just need to take a tub out and just whiz it in the microwave. The chicken will take longer to cook in that instance, but oh god, it's so good. It's such a good recipe. So that is all for my top 10 Slimming World meals. I also actually have to give a little special shout out to Burger in a Bowl, or Deconstructed Big Mac, whatever you want to call it. That is one of Ali's favourite meals that I make on Slimming World. I know Kedgeree is his actual favourite meal. That would be his favourite meal whether I was making Slimming World meals or not. But Burger in a Bowl is one that we discovered through doing Slimming World, and he flippin' loves that meal. He loves it. I always end up having to make extra so he can have it for a few days for lunch as well when we make Burger in a Bowl. He loves it so much. And it's so much healthier for him than going to McDonald's, which I can't do at the minute, but hey ho. Oh, actually, I can. I think McDonald's opens. I think McDonald's is open now for takeaway. Don't tell Ali. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped give some of you guys some meal inspirations. Please like this video if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.